What's up, you guys? Coasters are Beasto 9 back here to do a an upload for you. It's been a little bit. Things have been kind of all over the place. As you can see, the bins and everything that I had in this spare room that we had are moved out, and it's a lot emptier on the floor back here. And that is because we are moving into a house. In about 2.5 weeks, we're moving out of the apartment into a house, and I'm very excited about it. She's very excited about it. I cannot wait, but I wanted to come before you guys today and do a review for you on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the famous book series from the 80s, early 90s, and obviously got turned into a live action movie. Being a horror movie fan that I am, I wouldn't even say fan, I would say buff, well, whatever you want to call it. I had to go see it. Also, growing up, I remember being in school and going to the Scholastic Book Fair and getting Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books until they stopped putting them in there because they were a little too, I guess, scary for kids, but they were kind of made that way. They were supposed to be for kids, but whatever. So let's talk about this movie, guys. I'm not going to go into spoilers. It's pretty self-explanatory what it's about. If you've read the books or whatever, and I mean, even if you watch the trailers, it's very, it's very self-explanatory. So not going to go into too much specifics, just going to give you guys my thoughts, give you an overview of the story, and tell you what I liked and what I didn't like. So the overview of the story basically is, what a lot of people were wondering is, how are you going to make this into a movie? Because they're all separate stories that have nothing to do with each other, and it's essentially just a collection of random stories. Well, it's one narrative that includes them all, and it's basically a woman named Sarah Bellows, in the late 1800s, committed suicide, and she was, I guess, kind of labeled as a witch by the townsfolk, so she was basically an outcast. She was outcasted by her family too. She was locked up. She was kept away from the world. And the rumor has it that while she was locked up in, almost like a basement cellar type thing of the house, she began writing stories, and she would tell the stories through the walls to kids, and they would die, and then she would write more stories with their blood. A girl named Stella finds the book on Halloween night because her and her friends are, doing whatever, Halloween, screwing around. They break into the house. She finds the book, and she makes the mistake of telling Sarah Bellows to tell her a story. Well, from then on, it's, the shit hits the fan. Every night, a new story is written, and every night, that story is one of the stories from the famous book series. So you have Harold the Scarecrow, that's featured in here, and that's on the poster and the trailers. Everybody knows about that. You have Where's My Big Toe? You have the Red Spot with the spiders. You have I don't know what the story is called. I can't remember. But it's the fat, pale lady with the long black hair with just like the creepy smile. Everybody remembers that photo from the books, that drawing. I just can't remember what that story is though. Then you have the Jangly Man, so Mitai Doti Walker, and then you have the Haunted House. And those are the 6 stories that this movie, it intertwines with the narrative. Sorry, I'm kind of still trying to process all of it because I just went and saw it late last night, and I wanted to do this for you guys today while I was off. So that's basically how that goes. Hold on 1 second, because I am not about to listen to these advertisements, and I am trying to play some music. Okay. Yeah, and basically that's the story. One by one, her friends are being picked off by creatures from these scary stories, and she is trying to get to the bottom of why it's happening and how to stop it. And on their journey, she finds out secrets about Cerebello's life and the true story of what happened. And she's trying to rectify everything. And that's really the narrative. And, you know, if you know the stories, then you know what each individual story is about. Yeah, and that's that. So, first I want to talk about the things I liked. Actually, let's do the things I didn't like first. Guys, I walked out of this movie just thinking it was okay. And that was kind of a bummer. Now, when it was first announced, I was super excited. When the first trailers dropped, the 15-second teasers for the Super Bowl, I was super excited. When the full trailer dropped, my excitement went way down. I thought the acting looked subpar. I thought that it looked way too, disjointed. And I just wasn't sure how I felt about it. Now, when it was first announced, yeah, I would have seen it opening day if you had asked me then. But after the trailer came out, I was like, I'll catch it probably the week after it came out. And I caught it Tuesday night. So, waited a little bit. Theater was packed, though. So, I mean, that's a good thing for the box office for it. But, yeah, personally, guys, what I didn't like was I did not like some of the acting. The acting was better than the trailer made it look, which I was surprised, but it was still just okay. There's a couple characters that are decent. There's a couple characters that make you cringe when they're on screen. I don't know how else to kind of put that. There's really no in between. It's like, oh man, that's bad, and oh, he or she's pretty good. And that was one complaint. The acting was just kind of eh. And another one, for me personally, and this may surprise some people, but I didn't find it scary, which is kind of a bummer. I know it's not really aimed at people in their mid-20s like me. I mean, it is because it's nostalgic for us because we were kids reading them, but, it's not meant to make us scared. It's meant to make a younger generation scared. And I just wasn't really scared. There was one part in the movie where it was pretty suspenseful with the Big Toe story, but that's it. That's the only time that I was, a little tense, which is fine. I mean, I don't really get scared by many movies nowadays anyway, so it's okay, but it's kind of a bummer. And the kills, I should say, again, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but there's really no meat to them. PG-13, so you don't see a ton. The director came out and said, we didn't hold anything back, and we just kind of left it all out there. We didn't really have to edit it or chop it down or anything. I don't buy that because some of the stuff is kind of like, it's a little too safe for me. The impact isn't there. It doesn't hit you the way it should some of the time because it's just not, it's just not very in your face. It's not very emotional. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just the kills were just kind of subpar for me. On top of that, I'm trying to think of what else as a negative. Oh God, the biggest negative. God, my brain is all over the place today. The biggest negative from the movie, the freaking ending. One of the lamest ways to set up a sequel I have ever seen. If you watch this movie, you're going to watch that ending, and most of you are going to have the reaction I had, and my theater had. Audibly, the theater had. I heard people around me literally going, why? Like, why would you do that? That's stupid. What? And people were laughing. The ending is so bad. So bad. I mean, would I be okay with seeing a sequel to the movie? Yes, I'd be okay with it. try to set it up a little bit better than that. That is just stupid. I mean, that is just stupid. I'm sorry. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I don't mean to ramble about that ending, but God, that was the worst part of that movie. The worst part was the ending. And now let's go for the positives really quick, guys. Loved the atmosphere. Definitely felt like fall. I loved every bit of that atmosphere. It was, it felt like Halloween, and then even after, because it carries on into the days after Halloween, it still felt like harvest and fall time. So I loved the atmosphere. Very creepy. Cinematography was great. The way it was lit, the way it was shot was great. Had no problem with that. The creature designs were awesome. The only creature that I felt like was a little too for me was the Jangly Man. And that was simply just because the Jangly Man, it felt like a scene from the prequel of The Thing, or John Carpenter's The Thing. And it just kind of kept going. And I was like, okay, we get it. Oh, you're the Jangly Man. You're so creepy. But he's really not that creepy. So, you know, that's just kind of, that was the only character, the only creature issue I had. But his design was cool. I mean, it looked cool. I just felt like it was drawn out too much. With no real, I don't know, with no real big payoff. The creepiest one, in my opinion, design-wise, was the freaking pale lady. She was freaking creepy. When she gets in front of the camera and she's like, I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of my face. So she was creepy. And the creepiest story, I think, I mean, I'm an arachnophobe, so like the red spot was like, oh no. But they don't show a lot of the spiders. They don't show a lot of it happening. So, but still, I mean, it was a little queasy for me. I was like, oh, that's kind of gross, but whatever. But no, the most effective story is the Big Toe story, in my opinion. That is the most effective, and it was executed the best because you have, I'm not going to give spoilers away. God, I really want to, but if you read the book, you know what is in the stew. It starts off, it's fucking disgusting. And then, and I mean, I was genuinely like, oh. And then hearing the corpse and seeing the corpse coming down the hallway, portrayed by Javier Botet, great creature actor, did the Crooked Man in Conjuring 2, did the Leper in It 2017, and did... what is it? Mama in Mama. He's a great creature actor. But that whole scene, that is very tense. I'll give the movie that. That is, and as I said earlier, that's the one part where I was like, okay, this is uneasy. I like this. I wish it had kept that tone all throughout with all the stories, but regardless, that scene is super effective. And I think if you're a fan of the book, and you're just a fan of scary movies, that scene will definitely get you a little bit in different ways. So I liked that scene a lot. Trying to think. I liked the soundtrack and the score. If you heard, I was playing some of that soundtrack in the background when this video started. That was effective. Guillermo del Toro definitely did. You can tell that he was a big proponent of bringing these creatures to life, and they did a great job. They really, really did. Yeah, guys, so I rambled a little bit. It was kind of all over the place. As I was telling my fiance when we got out of the theater last night, it's a movie I'll have to see again to really give you guys a kind of review that's not all over the place. But for me, you've got negatives of some so-so acting, not very scary, watered down kills, and a freaking awful ending. The positives, though, you got some great atmosphere. You have some great creature designs and some genuinely good moments. And you know, one in particular, suspenseful moment. It's faithful to the book. The score, the soundtrack, the cinematography, the direction, the lighting, all on point. And as I said, with the acting being so-so, that means that some of it is good. So it's a mixed bag for me. I'm going to have to watch it again. I don't know if I'll catch it in theaters again. I might wait till it becomes available for, digital, and I might catch it then and decide if I want to buy it on Blu-ray or not. But it's a mixed bag for me. If I had to rate this movie out of 10, I'm probably giving it a 6.5 at the highest. It's just okay. It borders on pretty good, but I wouldn't go any better than that. But it wasn't a bummer, you know what I mean? Like my expectations were kind of taken down with the first full-length trailer, so I got pretty much what I was expecting. I actually was a little more impressed. So nice job marketing, I guess. You lowered my expectations, and then the movie was a little bit better. So that's weird, and she felt the same way. She was like, I liked it more than I thought I would. So yeah, it's just a mixed bag for me, guys. It's okay. If you loved the books and you want to see it come to life, go see it and go support horror anyway at the box office. You know, we're in a renaissance for our genre, and we just need to, we need to enjoy that and take advantage of that and keep it going. So go check it out. But for me, it's just a mixed bag, guys. If you guys want to see a spoiler review, I'll do a spoiler review. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. Just let me know in the comments below. Please comment, like, subscribe, share my video. You want a shout out? I'll give you a shout out. You shout me out, guys. Very excited to be moving into a new house, an actual house and not an apartment. I'll have a whole new setup, and I am looking forward to it. So thanks for checking in, guys. Hope you enjoyed my disjointed review. And this is Coasters RV 09 signing off.